but today we're going to talk about something that I am so excited about, and it's really offering medical weight loss, GLPs, peptides, where unlike other relationships, I've been to events where they have somebody speaking up there, they have a company, and they are just saying basically, yeah, refer your people to us. We'll kick back 10 to 15% on affiliate revenue to you. But there's a big danger on that, right? I've never really looked into that because quite often the juice isn't worth the squeeze when you look at it. And what you're doing, you're handing off that precious relationship to another company. And it's really doesn't credit back to you, right? That you've helped them. And I've never seen that work out really well. And there's something interesting. I'm going to show you how you can do this in-house, charging what you want, keeping the profits, and having the backing of a full medical team and compliance behind you. So it's something that I am so pumped to do. I'm doing this in all of my locations. And it's something I'm just massively excited. And we're going to give away some freebies on this. There's going to be a $1,000 free gift courtesy of Asher Med that Josh is going to share with you in a minute. We're going to give you a ticket to our Gym Owner Profit Summit in Scottsdale, Arizona. And of course, as always, you can always hop on with a free coaching call with Andy or I, should you be interested and need to talk over something with your business as well. But like I said, I've not been this excited about anything in the fitness industry, and I've been in it for 17 years. As most of you guys know, we obviously teach a high ticket launch strategy, right? And we've taught you guys how to do this selling just a transformational mentorship, like nutrition coaching on steroids. And that has worked very well, right? It's worked in my locations. It's worked in your locations. We've taught you how to fulfill on that one. But some of you know Kai, some of you don't. But Kai has been somebody that's been working with us for 2 or 3 years. And he has had an advantage that none of us have, in the fact that he's a former family medicine doctor, right, who opened up his gym, and he's also got his Real Wellness medical weight loss clinic inside of it as well. He has regularly been selling what we teach with the high ticket stuff. He's been regularly selling 25 to 30K a month in new business each and every month, just from his high ticket medical weight loss. And obviously that supports his gym too. The bottom line is, we all know right now how hard it is to get people in the doors to do it the right way, right? Where you're modifying your nutritional habits, you have a better lifestyle, you're working on a regular basis. People have spoken. They want the easy route. But it's a combination. We need to give them what they want, but also sell them what they need. And that's exactly what Kai has done. He's done it ethically, right? Where he's not just handing out prescriptions for tirzepatide and all that kind of stuff. He's helping them with modify their nutrition, their lifestyle, and making sure the strength training is there to support so they don't have muscle loss. This is something I've been jealous of. He's in College Station, Texas. And again, because he's a medical doctor, he can do this. The future is now, guys. I connected with Asher Med. I connected with Justin and Josh and Trevor from Asher Med. And we have Josh on this call, and he's going to be taking over shortly. But Asher Med allows you to do this full legal compliance, full medical team where you're charging what you want. You're in control of the program, and it's pretty awesome. I am so excited. I'm rolling it through all of my locations. Andy just started. You signed up somebody in less than 24 hours from you getting your portal with Asher Med.
Yes, sir. And not only that, but they're, as of today, rocking and rolling with everything that they need. They literally submitted paperwork on Tuesday. It was approved Tuesday night, and packages were delivered today. So
I love hearing that. That's awesome, man.
Oh. It was great.
Guys, you guys know, I want you to keep the main thing, right? When we talk about ancillaries and this and that, sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze. There's a lot that I don't do in my gyms because it's just not worth the hassle. I don't do a lot of swag. I don't sell a lot of this or that because it's a lot of work. The payoff isn't much, and it's just not worth it. It detracts from my main thing. This is different. If there's one thing that you want to do this year in 2026, it is this. Because it's not just the fact that you can make a ton of extra money with it, but the fact of the matter is, it is so much easier to get people in the doors on this. It is so much easier because people are asking for it. We finally get to sell something that people are begging for, that they're dying to get. Statistics are showing that nearly 1 in 5 US adults are already using peptides. It is wild. And this is going to make high tickets so much easier to sell too, because people are dying to get this stuff. This is an easy sell. And Andy and I are working on the back end to really customize high ticket offers and show you what your exact profits are going to be. We're in the process of all of this right now. But the main thing, guys, this is just a massive opportunity. You get to bridge the gap between medical weight loss and wellness. That is actually Asher Med's mission statement, which is pretty amazing. You get to charge what you want. You retain the customer relationship. You keep all the money, and you get the full back-end medical support, full legal compliance, and it is smooth. I have gone through it. Andy has gone through it, and it is pretty awesome. And so we've got Josh on here with Asher Med. And Josh, I'm going to let you just kind of intro your background, what you have to offer, you know, and explain how this works. Because I did post an email, and almost everybody, especially everybody on this call, super receptive to like, teach me how to do this. I also had those 2 people are like, whoa, you can't do that. I'm like, well, why don't you learn how to do it? So I wanted to bring you on to walk through like how each and every one of you can do this and how easy it is.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, I feel like you did the hard work for me. So we'll just drop your link and let's go. Well, first off, I feel like I'm back at home, which is freaking awesome. If you guys don't know me from gym launch days or just gym owners, I see a couple of names in here that I do remember back from those days. And so this is our home. This is my business partner's home. We are gym owners at heart. No matter what company we have, we still identify with that. And so just really pumped to be here, Scott. Really appreciate you, brother. And you guys want to learn a little bit about Asher?
Yep.
So that's a
let's
yes.
do it.
Awesome. Do me a favor real quick. Give me a 1 in the chat if you are familiar with GLP-1s. I'm shocked sometimes. Obviously, you might be living under a rock if you don't, but some people don't. But like if you are familiar with GLP-1s, drop a 1 in the chat. Let's start with those first. So that's going to be your semaglutide, your tirzepatide, your tirzepatide, your Mounjaro, your Ozempic, all of those good things. And then now give me a 2 in the chat if you're familiar with other types of peptides. You know, maybe that's BPC 157 or AOD, MOTS-C. See, I knew we have fitness pros in here. Most of us are more familiar with those things than GLP-1s. Perfect. Kelly, don't worry. We'll walk you through it. Perfect. Awesome, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, Scott, and let's go ahead and dive into this thing here. Give me a thumbs up if you guys can see my screen here.
Good to go.
Perfect. So first off, Scott, we just got off of a call with our partner group. So we have about 550, actually now about 580 active partners, active bonus builders using Asher Med, which we are extremely pumped about. And Scott was the man, and he just came on and did a live call teaching some of the principles that he teaches you guys here on a daily basis to over 100 of our partners. And it was fantastic. I think, Scott, we have about 52 of them scheduled to come in person to see you. So obviously you did a really good job there. So appreciate you. Give me a yes in the chat if you guys know that Scott's the man. If not, then maybe we're in the wrong place. We'll give you a little bit of a big head.
Kelly, nope.
Kelly said, that's, you know, she loves you. So my name is Josh, guys. I'm not going to give a long, background of myself, but because what I want to talk about is coach-led medical transformation, because that's what matters, and it matters right now more than ever. Okay. And so I'm going to move fast. I want to keep this valuable. And so if you give me your attention for the next 25 minutes or so, I promise it will be worth it. It will be worth your time, especially if you are here for a reason, because you do want to add GLP-1s, you want to add peptides into your business, but you want to do it in a non-sketchy way. Right? We all see it. You see the labs from China, you see the research only peptides, you see a lot of these things getting shut down. But it's just the name of the game, right? It's happening in the industry right now. And we did not want to go that route. That route is easy, it's cheap, it's very profitable. But when we're talking about medical services here, I want everyone to just understand we are talking about physician-backed programs delivered from 503A pharmacies. Okay. And so we're not talking research only. We're not talking, China labs or anything like that. It's going to be physician only, backed by a 503A pharmacy. And that is really big. So I'm not here to sell you guys meds. That's not what we do, right? Asher Med does not sell medication. We partner with a network of providers that do that there. And that should not be why you're here either. Okay. I'm here because we saw a broken industry forming in real time. If you guys have been on social media, you see it too. Okay. And so you see this happening, and we built Asher Med specifically for people like you, because you are like us. We are coaches at heart. We come from the fitness industry. We come from transformation programs, right? That is what we believe in. And so we built Asher Med specifically for coaches like you who actually care and give a damn about transformation. Okay. And so quick disclaimer, as I said, this is business education only, right? Not medical advice. Asher Med does not play doctor. Okay. I'm not the person writing the scripts for your people when they come through. We're not making medical decisions for your people. We partner with licensed providers and legitimate pharmacy fulfillment teams. So that way the medical lane stays the medical lane and you stay the coaching lane. Okay. So you do not want to play doctor. You do not want to put yourself in the position where you expose yourself to risk like that. You want to be able to operate in your lane while still be able to provide these services for your people. So my background here, 10 years ago, I started in a park. That was it, right? I did not grow up around business, no mentors, no one in my family who was like, you should open up a business one day. I was just a trainer who loved it and loved it so much. I decided to piss off my dad and drop out of college with a semester left to go and start a gym. Okay. But little did I know, gyms cost money and parks are free. So we started in the park and did what we had to do there. And so from there, we got into the gym. We got into a thriving gym, big community, selling transformation programs. And that was really one of the highlights of my entrepreneurial career. And that's what kind of started this process for us. But as you guys know, it doesn't start there, right? You start with a big vision, you start with zero money, and you have to learn fast, and you make a lot of mistakes. And so I got that into that location. I was quickly out of money once I realized that there's this thing called a lease that costs $5,000 a month. And you don't have to choose between, am I going to pay my apartment rent or am I going to pay my lease rent? And so this was the struggle first. And I'm going to say something that you guys already know because you're working here with Scott, is that I had to learn the hard way that you do not sell sessions. You do not sell time. You do not sell features, right? Those things are a trap for people like us in this industry. It caps your income, it caps your impact, and it turns your services into a commodity. And that is not what we're here to do. Okay. And so the unlock was selling transformation, right? Not features, not sessions, not come 3 times a week. It was transformation, a defined outcome, a real journey, and a full solution. And I am pumped because you guys are already learning this. You're already applying it. You're already doing it. And so when you take a service like Asher Med and you combine it with that, there's so much fun that can come, so much impact that can happen. And of course, profit is going to follow as well. Okay. So the truth is, you guys already know, Scott teaches this: commitment follows investment. When people pay more, they commit more, right? When they commit more, they get better outcomes. And that is why high ticket transformation is often more ethical, because people actually do the work. Okay. So from this, we went into the marketing space, right? I loved the gym. That was fun. Got an offer from Alex Hermosi. We were one of his first gyms that he actually worked with in Gym Launch back in the day. Got an offer from him to come over to his side, help build out a coaching side arm on Gym Launch, and also build their sales team. And so I quickly knew I want to learn more. And so I decided to take that from that. And then from that, we started a marketing agency. And so we started working with other wellness businesses, teaching them how to market and sell transformation. Gyms, clinics, med spa, studios, right? We were obsessed with one thing, which was, how do you get people results and build businesses that can actually print profit at the same time? Okay. Because that is tough to do in this industry. And then in 2023, I'll just be honest, we got lucky. We got very lucky. We became one of the first marketing agencies that actually start advertising on social media for GLPs. Okay. So everyone thought you couldn't do it. No one was doing it at the time. And we became one of the first ones that actually started offering it and teaching them this stuff. And as you guys know, if you remember back in 2023, the market went crazy for GLP-1s. It just did, right? It started to explode. People started getting onto it. And it was really where things started to take off. And so at first look, it was amazing. We had 1,000 partners across the US, mainly med spas and clinics, because those were the people that could actually offer these services at the time. You had to either have medical oversight or be a doctor to do it. And it was fun. We made a lot of money, built our first multi seven-figure business, had a lot of staff, but there was something at the heart of it that we had to face, and there was a problem, right? And that problem was the industry sucks. It just does. Okay. The clinic industry, the quick churn mill of come get a prescription, come get a shot every single week, right? The hims and hers models, the online telehealth, it sucks. Okay. And that is just the case. And so if that's what you're looking to build with being able to add on medications using AstraMed, you'll be disappointed, right? That's not what we do. We do something completely different. Okay. And so the problem that we saw and the reason why we sold that marketing agency and went into the place that we're in now is that we saw that people were profiting without coaching transformation. Nothing broke my heart than when my own sister-in-law signed up with a med spa we were associated with, got on GLP-1s, had zero reach out after getting her shots, had zero reach out after her BMI drop below 22, still got her dose increased at that point as well, hair falling out, right? Starting to have a little bit of issues with eating, muscle mass. Like you look at her and you're like, man, you lost a lot of weight, but you look sick. And so have you guys seen someone deal with that right now? Have you guys seen someone on medical weight loss where it goes too far? And that is because these clinics, this industry, they are selling medication at low price points like it's a commodity. There's no real coaching. There's no behavior change. There's no plan. And this is the enemy, right? Medicine only, inject and forget. That is the enemy that we're facing. So if your program is a shop and a checkout page, you are not in the transformation business. You're in the commodity business. Okay. And so I want to make sure that's clear up front. And this creates the worst outcome, right? People that have short-term weight loss that leads to long-term failure. Okay. People lose weight. They don't build skills. They don't build identity. They don't build habits. And eventually what happens? It all rebounds. Okay. That's best case sometimes. And so what the world needs right now is you, right? The world needs coach-led medical transformation. They need medicine that we know works best. It works, but it works best when coaching leads it. Okay. Because coaching is the part that will actually make results stick. So I really, really like to emphasize this. We like to emphasize this before we sign up anyone for Asher. Are you a part of the solution? Are you willing to be a part of the solution? And if you're going to use Asher, give me a yes in the chat. I want commitment that you will be a coach that leads with coaching, even while having something that can sell very easy, like a GLP-1 or a peptide. Hope to see like as many yeses as we have people on this call, because all of you guys should be selling transformation. So that's why we built Asher. As Scott said here, we built Asher with one mission in mind, which is how do we bridge the gap between wellness and medical, right? So that way coaches and professionals can get off the sidelines, do this responsibly, and actually own the relationship with the client, okay? We can't just blame the doctors, right? The doctors are doing what doctors do, right? They write scripts. And now there are better doctors than some, right? That is the case. But we can't just blame the doctors for not also having a business model that can make sure that people get the wellness resources, the transformation packages, the things that they need to be able to have long-term success while also being on a medication. So now before I show you exactly how Asher works, there are a few myths that I have to break first, okay? And so myth number one, or GLP-1s and peptides are dangerous, okay? And here's the truth. The risk isn't the tool. The risk is lack of coaching and oversight. Any powerful tool can be used wrong. And the question is there medical oversight and is there a coaching system that's driving behavior change? Okay. You hear a lot of things online about GLP-1s, like you're going to get Ozempic face, you're going to lose your hair, you're going to feel bad, you're going to rebound. Those are not side effects of medication. Those are side effects when someone eats 500 calories per day, never touches the weight, doesn't eat enough protein. Those are the side effects of that. Okay. And so when you do it right, the risk isn't in the tool. It's the lack of coaching and oversight. And so when you put those two things together, it works. And so what changed my worldview here is when I was a young personal trainer starting off, I was the guy, and it's okay if you guys have been this person as well, that was anti-supplements, anti-medication. I felt like if you had to lose weight and you had to use any of those tools, then you were someone who was cheating, You were someone who needed more discipline. You just needed more motivation, which is so easy for a 20-year-old filled with testosterone to say at the time, because you just were not in tune with reality. And I met someone named Dr. Hollenmeyer. This was one of my first early mentors who believed in me. I can be an entrepreneur. And she brought me into her functional medicine clinic to be able to shadow her, train her, and learn how she ran her practice. And this was my first exposure to what people truly struggle with, right? I shattered my simplistic worldview. It showed me that chronic obesity is not just a willpower game, right? There are hormone imbalances. There's trauma-driven coping patterns. There's real humans that have real complexity, and they're trying to change after decades of struggle. I would see people that would be 30 years in and finally wanting to take a step. And I would see how she would run labs, sometimes prescribe medication, sometimes do supplements, but always back it with a wellness program. And then you would see these people who struggled for decades start to actually have success. And so the lesson here is that this isn't always a willpower issue. Don't get me wrong, GLP-1s are not for everyone, right? And that's why it's a physician choice to prescribe. But sometimes a tool will start the change, and then coaching and wellness will lock it in long term. And so the tool creates momentum, coaching turns momentum into identity. All right. So your role as a coach is not to judge the tool, right? Your role is to guide the human, teach protein, strength training, habits, consistency, structure, right? That is where real transformation happens. Myth number 2, it's cheating, right? A lot of people feel shame around this because this is just beat in so many people's heads, right? That I'm going to hide the fact that I'm on a GLP-1. You see this from patients all the time. I'm going to hide it because I don't want people to think I'm cheating or I'm taking the easy way out, okay? GLP-1s don't make the path easier, guys, okay? It's not cheating. Cheating is when you sell a shortcut, right? Cheating is when you give someone something and they have to do no work around it. Coaching is when you are building a new identity. And so if someone uses a tool while you coach them into sustainable nutrition, strength, movement, and consistency, that's not cheating. That's leadership, and that's a real program. Okay. So yes, if someone's going to abuse a medication, if they're going to try and take their dosing in their own hands, if they're not going to do anything else, we could call that cheating. I wouldn't call it cheating. I just call it dumb. All right. But that's because they just have the lack of education, right? They're not like us. They're not nerds who spent the last decades of their life geeking out about fitness, protein, how many grams of protein should I eat per body weight, right? So it's not their fault. They just need people in this industry to be able to step up, come alongside them, and show them the proper way to do this. Okay. And so myth number 3, and this one you guys probably don't have a problem with. I would hope so. Scott, if they do have a problem with it, I'm going to punch you when I see you at your event, and make sure that you put this in their heads, is that the myth here is that clients won't pay more or they'll judge you for selling meds. Okay. I'm going to kill that myth with a little story here. And you guys will resonate with this. Give me a 1 in the chat if you ever sold supplements in your business, or maybe you sell supplements today. Yep. So this is my crazy supplement lady story. So I love this lady. She was a member of my gym. She had been with us for about a year and probably a year and a half. Consistent, right? 4 days a week coming in. She was a part of the community. If you've ran a group training facility, you know those people, right? Those are your ambassadors. Those are the people that are always there, and they are fun. And so I'll never forget, she comes in one day, we're after a session, it's late at night. She asks, hey, can I talk to you? So we go in my office, we sit down. I'm thinking she's bringing me a referral. I'm excited. And little did I know she was going to tell me, hey, it's too expensive. Okay. I can't afford this anymore. And I was not selling high ticket. I was selling a $200 a month membership at the time. And so I was shocked, but it was okay. I understand, right? People have bills, they had to do it. So I let her go. And then 2 weeks later, we roll out supplements in our facility. And in those supplements, we had packages, right? We were actually selling high ticket supplements, not just commission driven things. And we had an $800 ultimate package. And we kicked it off by emailing out to our list for them to sign up with nutrition sessions. This same person who just told me it was too expensive walks into my facility. I'm thinking maybe she forgot something, she needs something. And she sits down, she says, I'm ready for my consultation. And she buys a $800 package, right? An $800 supplement package after she just got done telling me that $200 was too much. Okay. And so what we want to do is let that sink in. $200 a month was too expensive. $400 was not. $800 for a 3-month supplement package was a great deal for her. And so the lesson is brutal that if you do not sell what your clients want, they will buy it elsewhere. Okay. If you're lucky, they'll just go online to Hims and Hers, not tell you about it, buy it. If you're not lucky, they're going to go to one of the other people, one of the other, the 600 partners we almost have now who are actually doing transformation and packages and sign up with that person. Okay. And so the demand doesn't disappear. It just leaves your ecosystem. And so the question isn't, will they buy, right? They're buying it already. We see the stats. CNN just released an article saying that airlines are shocked that the price of gas is cheaper for them because of people losing weight, and they're correlating it to GLP-1s, which is wild, right? So people are buying this. The question is, will they buy it with you inside of your coaching system or from a faceless brand that doesn't care if it sticks? And so the motto is simple, guys, of how this works. You sell and coach transformation. Licensed providers handle the medicine. 503A compliant pharmacies, you'll learn more about what those are as we spend more time together, but pharmacies deliver the medicine, and then that's the bridge, right? And that is how it gets done right. So I say it's simple, but let's be real. It can feel complex to get started because we're talking about medical services. Before we started Asher, when we were working with med spas who didn't have physicians on hand, they had to use something called medical oversight. The average cost per year to be able to add GLP-1s into their practice, to have a medical oversight, hire NP on staff, deliver the patient care, was about $150,000 per year. Okay. And so it's tough. And then you have a lot of compliance issues that have to happen. You're dealing directly with pharmacies. It's a brutal system. You're getting upcharged like crazy because you're just one small location. So these pharmacies will charge you like crazy for the medication. So I say it's simple, right? The motto simple, execution is where it can get stuck. But I'll get to that in a second. So what you do is you stay in your lane. Okay. Want to make that clear. You don't put on the white lab coat. You don't say, now I have the ability to prescribe medication. You don't treat, you don't diagnose, right? You coach what you're coaching. You coach your program. You coach daily habits, nutrition support, movement, mindset, accountability, right? And then the medical lane stays with the provider and the pharmacy, right? The prescribing, the dosing, the medical decisions, right? You are not handling meds. You're not practicing medicine. You're building transformation with the right medical support team behind you. Okay. Another term that we like to call Asher Med, we actually got this from our partners, is think of it like a turnkey medical system that you get to bolt onto your business. All right. And that's the way that we built the model. Okay. So how do you do this legally? I kind of talked about it a little bit, right? You have a couple different options. I'm not going to say Asher Med's the only way. You could go and get your facility licensed properly. You could go to a big medical oversight company that would provide medical oversight for your business. Depending on what state you are, you will still have to have medical staff there in person. And then you'll have to walk that process of setting up patient care. You have to walk the process of also dealing with pharmacy relationships. So that's the way to kind of spend a lot of money. Go to a place like Clinics of America. Those have places that will charge you $100,000 to set up, and you can duct tape it together and still have a lot of work on your plate. Okay. So that's one way. We wanted to make this process a lot easier, and that is why we built Asher Med. Okay. And so
this is how Asher
I'm
Med
going to
works.
walk you guys through the flow here real quick. Scott, let me know if you cannot hear my audio.
This is how Asher Med works. Step 1, you sign up your client inside your business just like you already do. Charge their card, package their services, done. Step 2, drop them into your white label portal, fully branded to your business. Build custom orders with multiple treatments, or simply select GLP-1s and peptides. Choose injection type, set a monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly supply, and mark them as new or returning. This generates a link you can send to your clients or do it right then and there. They fill it out in minutes and their info appears in your dashboard ready for approval. Our licensed providers in all 50 states review the intake, labs, and documentation, approve the prescription, and the pharmacy ships directly to your client's door in just 3 to 5 days. From there, we handle everything in prescriptions, pharmacy, compliance, patient care. You focus on coaching, relationships, and revenue. That's why over 350 wellness businesses, gyms, med spas, chiropractors, and clinics already trust Asher Med to grow, scale, and become a one-stop shop for wellness.
Yeah. Fun part about this, that video was from less than maybe 6-8 weeks ago. So we're at 350. Now you guys will see a thriving community of 550 plus. And so, but this is the simple process, guys. You set up your partner account. You're going to have a custom intake link in that account. All right. You have a client that's interested. You use Scott's sales process, what he's building on his gyms right now for you guys, and you give that to your client. So can you guys copy and paste a link and send it to a client? Let me know.
Yep.
Kelly, great question. We'll talk about that here in a little bit. Right. I hope so. So that is how it works. And then what happens is that client then goes through an intake process. It's called asynchronous project where the doctor reviews everything, make sure it's a great fit for them, prescribes the medication. A 503A pharmacy ships that medication directly to that patient's door, and you coach the transformation.
Can I add just real quick how amazing that back-end portal is and how easy it is? So I've already pushed my first order through. It is so easy and smooth, and everything's set from your portal to the classroom and everything. It's second to none. Andy, you got yours like that, right? You're getting notifications when it ships, when it's done. How easy was that?
It's so easy that I was like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
There's something here that I definitely missed because that was too simple. The whole process, literally once I sent over the link and they filled out the form, I had to approve it, basically just double checking, making sure I didn't need to change anything. And then it was out of my hands and it just did its thing. And now it's running. And it's, like I said, I sat there and I said, I had to have missed something. There's no way. I kept checking. I kept refreshing because I was like, there's no way that order's going to go through. There's no way. And then it just kept moving from one stage to the next, to the next, to the next. And I was like, oh my God, it was stupid easy.
Yeah. And I'm going to give a big shout out to our team on that one. We have an awesome dev team, guys, about 5 of them on staff. We have about almost 30 people on staff here from patient care side of things and then now I'm about to introduce our medical chief officer here, Dr. Crystal Burchard. And so we have what's called an MSO relationship with Dr. Crystal Burchard. The reason why we didn't want to go like most traditional companies that do this, where they have hundreds of different doctors that are essentially a script mill. So what they do is those doctors just get paid for every script that they write. We did not want that model. So we sought all very hard to find someone like Dr. Crystal Burchard, who is what they call a 51er. So she's licensed in all 50 states, including DC. And then she has 7 nurse practitioners underneath her that can all prescribe with her licenses. And so the reason why we want to kind of keep things centered with one main doctor is because of quality, right? We do not want to just be a script mill. Every single intake form is reviewed. We have a fully staffed care team that's partnered with Dr. Burchard to where we make sure, like Andy, I think you got the text message already from our care team about your intake form. We make sure that they are hands-on there because Kelly, you just asked a question here that is really important. Your clients will want to buy from you, but they probably don't trust you to be their medical provider. Okay. And so them knowing that they have access to a doctor that you can put her information up, you can show her licenses, all of those things here is really important. And then having a patient care team that backs this up is really important as well. And what we do is we don't step on your toes, right? We don't coach wellness. We don't tell them what to do with their fitness program or anything like that. We trust that you're going to do that. And we make sure that anything that is medical related flows through to the patient care team and Dr. Burchard and her team. Okay. So that way you do not have to stress about how do I handle medical questions? How do I handle if someone has a side effect or anything like that? But you have full access to that information because remember, the goal is to bridge the gap between medical and wellness, not just bring them together, but to make sure that there's a bridge there to where you understand what's happening with your clients as well. So Dr. Burchard is fantastic. She has been around for a while. The main reason why we love her is because not only has she had her own drastic weight loss history of losing 100 pounds, she is on the board where she teaches doctors how to manage and do with hormone optimization, metabolic intake medicine, which would be things around GLP-1s. And then she also practices in person as an entrepreneur. She has 3 different clinic locations. She is a big advocate about bridging wellness with medical, which is why she loves what we do. And she is someone who is going to have the best interest of your clients at heart when she's prescribing and also making sure that you guys have the best resources you need to be successful with this. Okay. So this matters, right? Real medical oversight, not a faceless brand. Okay. So what Asher handles, right? Asher handles the providers, the pharmacy coordination, compliance, which is huge, right? How do you make sure that you're doing this properly? How do you make sure you're not going to end up with a lawsuit from Eli Lilly or something like that? So everything we do, we have a full infrastructure of attorneys that we work with. We have compliance, things that we have to meet with our software. All of that is built in within the system. Okay, so that way you guys do not have to stress about that. We provide patient support, as I just talked about earlier, and then helping you with a very easy process to where it's so easy to renew people and keep people pretty sticky with being on these peptides and medications. And so what you focus on your offer, you focus on your sales, you focus on coaching, and you focus on the outcomes. That is where you win. That's where Scott wins. That's where your brand becomes the standard for this in this new industry. So let's talk a little bit about how you make profit, right? Because all of that is awesome, but we got to make sure this fits within the business model. How do you actually do this? So one thing that's very unique, Scott hit on this in the beginning, is we are not like, let's say LEMD is probably the closest person I could think of, where you have to send your client somewhere else to get signed up, and then you get paid out a measly commission, AKA a MLM process. We did not want to do that because we come from this industry. I personally hated it as a gym owner, and we did not want to build a product out like that. It was a lot harder for us to do this. It's taken a lot of building. That's why we, have to have our full dev teams and staff. But where we make this work is that you get to set your client's rate based off of your brand, your services, and your market. You're not forced into some low price shop menu model. You're not selling our pricing, right? We're not selling to your people for you. You are selling a program that you have built, right? That you run, and these are your clients. Okay. And then how it simply works is on the back end, because now you can roll that medication or mold the services into your high ticket program. On the back end, we just simply rebill you the wholesale cost of the medication plus the non-clinical fees. Okay. The only thing your client will ever have to pay to someone else that's not you, which actually builds trust, is that on their intake form, we do recommend that you allow them to pay the $10 physician fee directly to the doctor. The reason what that is important is you guys have heard of something called CPOM. I'm going to use a boring terminology here. It's called corporate practice of medicine. You do not want to necessarily be the person taking those prescription fees on behalf of the physician. Okay. Now, the way our model works is we are very, hey, you do you. We're going to protect you as much as we can, but we're not going to tell you how to run your business. You can turn that feature off and you can even collect that payment as well. But it's very simple. And what we have found from our partners are that their clients love it because now they get to know like, hey, this is actually a doctor doing this. This isn't some like research only, online clinic that you're sending me to or anything like that. It's a doctor and it's a $10 charge. Okay. So you get rebilled on the back end for wholesale medication costs plus non-clinical fees. And then your margin is simple, right? Your client price, whatever you charge, minus the wholesale cost of the medication package that your person got signed up for. Okay. So you sell a program, an experience, right? Not just medication. This is how you avoid the race to the bottom. That's how your clients stay longer. And this is how you build something that you can be proud of. Okay. So here's some high ticket sales examples. Scott, please don't laugh at this. All right. I know you're going to give them some better ones. This is why our partners love you. But this is just some examples like how you can package this together with your programs. We're having maybe a core plus elite package. And these are prices that our people are selling right now. But our people, there's a reason that we brought Scott in because they don't have the benefit of Scott of teaching them how to sell even higher ticket to them. Okay. So you already know how to sell transformation. You structure it. You include the medication in with the service. Kelly, this is where we will give you price ranges. This is where Scott's even building out something for you guys on how do you know how much you should add to your pricing and your programs based off the medication that you're offering. And then we make it very clear, right? You're not going to diagnose someone. You're not going to prescribe someone, but these medications have what's called contraindications, right? And then we give assessment forms. So that way you can know for a fact, someone fills out an intake form 99% of the time when you put them through, they put through their intake form, they're going to get approved by the doctor. Okay. So this allows you to be able to sell up front, collect the cash, and then push them through the doctor to get the prescription. The other thing that we love about this is that this gives you a predictable monthly revenue. Okay. The average GLP-1 client stays on support for around 6 to 12 months. So even if you start with a high ticket package and then you want to just keep them on, maybe they want to buy another high ticket package from you. Well, now you have a solid recurring revenue where average person is charging between $300 to $500 per month for semaglutide or tirzepatide, where you can now start building recurring clients. Okay. So 10 clients matter, 25 clients matter a lot, or 50 clients become predictable engine. And the best part is it's tied to outcomes. Okay. So you can stack, sell high ticket on the front end, have a recurring revenue model on the back end. And so you're probably wondering, what do you guys have access to medication wise? Okay. When you guys go ahead and Scott's going to give you some information, you guys will be able to get all this information. We'll email it over to you, or you can take a screenshot of it if you want, but you will have this in your email here shortly. We have a lot of different medication SKUs now. We have about 11. We do not race to new medications is our stance. We race to what is going to be best for you from a sales perspective, what's going to be best for the patient, what has clinical research behind it, what Dr. B is very confident on and what she's actually using with her own patients. Those are the medications that you guys will see in our portal. Okay. So obviously your two big hitters are going to be your tirzepatide and your semaglutide. Those are your GLP-1s. Then you have NAD, Simorelin, glutathione. And then we do have some of the category 2 peptides like AOD, BPC 157. Those you have full access to as well. The cool part with those peptides are we are one of the main location, one of the main people where those peptides are not coming from a research lab facility. They are compounded by a 503A pharmacy, okay, here in the States. So medication pricing, I'm putting this on for you. You're going to have this in your guide as well, but just to show you that there is always transparent pricing. And the thing that I am the most proud about is our pricing has never gone up. It only goes down because we have power in numbers. If you go and try and set up an account with, Strive Pharmacy or something like that, you're going to be paying probably 4 times the amount that you would see on our medication list here. But because we have so many patients, because we have so many partners, our pricing just gets to keep going lower as we keep increasing volume because there are power in numbers. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a little bit of example here. Let's say at quarterly wholesale price, let's say that you package, because Scott, I think you're going to do a 12-week program in your facility, right?
Yep.
Right. So let's say that you build out a 12-week program and you're going to sell a 12-week supply. So a 3-month supply of semaglutide. Okay. Your all-in cost, if someone has never been on semaglutide before, they'll start on the 3 months of the lower dosing. Your all-in cost, including shipping, right? Doctor fee, non-clinical fee, meds is $225. To put that in perspective, if you even just go online right now, I'm only going to get medication for 3 months of semaglutide, you're paying somewhere between, I would say anywhere between $700 to $900. Okay. So you can see the profit is there. Now imagine when you stack it with one of your packages that you're building out here with Scott. Tirzepatide, if you don't know what it is, we give you guys this education. We teach you about these medications, not so you can play doctor, but that way you have an understanding of it. Tirzepatide is just a different form of GLP-1 with a GIP. A lot of people love it. It works better. Usually people do semaglutide just from a cost effective because tirzepatide does cost more. Okay. So does that make sense? You guys see how the profit can work here and your business model with stacking this with your programs?
Give me a one in the chat if you do. This is not that is, it's just unbelievable. Like if you're just doing a little bit of math in your head, and obviously I'm working on all the different packages and programs and separate peptides, but it is mind blowing as I'm doing the math on this, guys.
Yep. And it's tempting, guys. We get telehealth. We had skinny.com. We've had major supplement brands that I want to add this to my website just so I can just turn off prescriptions because they see the pricing, they see the profit, and we turn them away. Okay. Because you have to have a wellness program designed with this. You'll see all of our partners are people like you, where we don't just sell medication, even though it's tempting, right? We always sell some type of wellness package with it. So now, a little bit of proof, right? Not to flex, but just because you should see this is actually working in the real world for coaches and wellness businesses. Who are we working with right now? When you get in our community, you're going to see med spa owners. You're going to see a ton of gym owners, wellness studio owners, a lot of functional medicine clinics, which is pretty cool. You'll get a lot of information from them. You see chiropractors and PTs, and then really any wellness business owner who cannot prescribe, they want to transform lives with selling a medical program with their wellness services. And so currently over 550 of our partners are already doing this. And I'm going to just show a real quick video of someone who we love.
My name is Lori Benson, and we have Vivera Wellness, and it is a telehealth platform. We had our onboarding with Josh, and it was a great experience. We felt very comfortable in his knowledge and where he was headed and really their vision for the company. So it's been a great experience from start to today.
My name is Brian Meisenberg from Buffalo, New York, and I own Applied Fitness, which is a chain of personal training studio gyms. After having vetted a number of different medical weight loss clinics and organizations, I realized Asher was the one to go with because I could tell that our objectives and goals and vision were aligned. I could tell that Asher really cared not only for us as partners, but more importantly for patients and clients.
I am Jill White. I'm a pharmacist by training. My company's name is Innovate Wellness. Everything Asher Med does is upright. They are so ethical, so moral, such amazing people. Their customer service is amazing.
My name is Amanda Autry. I own Cryo 979 and we are a wellness center in Texas. We honestly waited about 30 days. We had our initial phone call and we watched the video and we thought this is probably too good to be true.
And so you get a lot too good to be true, right? Because it does feel that way. But we have built this infrastructure to where people like you, wellness coaches, can come in, crush it. Like Scott said, like Andy said, get up and running in less than 48 hours. Daphine's a really cool one. In 30 days, she onboards 14 clients in there. And what I love about her here is like her biggest thing is that she signed up not because of the profits. She signed up because she had a lot of clients that were stuck and were churning off. Mm-hmm. And so that's why she started with Asher. Now, obviously, she starts making more money as well, which is nice. Tiffany is huge. You guys will see her in the community. You should definitely pick her brain. Over 41 clients in 1 month and 2 months at $100,000 in extra revenue, adding in loyal customers for life.
Hi, I'm Brian. I am a science and nutrition specialist here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And along with my wife, Brenna, we own and operate Revitaglow Meds. Our goal has always been to help our clients in the best way we possibly can, and we've struggled for a while to determine how to better suit some of their needs and make sure that they achieved all of their goals. Partnering with Asher Meds has helped us in ways we didn't even know were possible. Our clients are seeing tremendous results, and because of that, our growth has just gone through the roof. We don't see it slowing down anytime soon. If you are a med spa, you're a health clinic, you're a fitness professional, if you are not already partnered with Asher Meds, you are missing out. If you want to really boost your business and get it to the next level, much like we have and continue to, you really should look into partnering with Asher Med. It's an amazing group, and we cannot say enough good things about them. We are so excited about what our future looks like with Asher.
So, Scott, you met Brian on the last call. And what I love about Brian is that Brian was selling research-only peptides first. So he was incorporating them in his program. And when he switched over to Asher, he starts to see a big jump because it was a big jump in trust. Okay. And so you can get research-only peptides for cheaper, guys. I will say that. You can go online, you can order them in bulk, sell them, sling them to your clients, but it decreases the quality of your brand and it decreases trust when we do things like that. So these aren't anomalies, right? They're outcome of a repeatable system. And honestly, if we're choosing who we want in the system, it's people from this industry. It's fellow gym owners, fellow online coaches, right? People who actually give a crap about long-term change. And so what you get access to at Asher Med is not just the software. We don't just want to throw that out you. We want to make sure that you guys have a lot of resources that you can use to have success. Number one is going to be if you are new to GLP-1s. Maybe you've never coached someone on GLP-1s or you don't know that you coach someone on GLP-1s. We have a GLP-1 and metabolic health certification program that walks you and your team through understanding who these tools are for, how do you compliantly speak to them, right? How they work, and how to coach people responsibly on them. Okay, you'll get officially certified. This is a certification that isn't just something we whipped up. This was built over months working directly with Dr. Burchard to make sure that you guys have the best tools and confidence to be able to go ahead and roll this out. Say that you partner with Dr. B on your certification and get your staff, if you have other coaches, certified as well so they can be confident speaking to GLP-1s. Okay. The other thing that we have, which I'm so excited for, because a lot of these are some new resources here, is number one, medication guide, right? How do you talk to people about this, right? How do you tell them what are the benefits you can claim? What shouldn't you claim? Those come in full white label medication guides that you can give to your clients. Partner playbook. How do you talk about FDA approval? What happens when someone asks you, is this medication FDA approved? How do you talk about compounded medications? What is a 503A pharmacy? We give you the tools to be able to speak confidently to these things to your clients. We give you the GLP peptide 1 and peptides overview, right? How do you speak to those things? And then my favorite one here is a client health and goals assessment tool, because one thing that might get a little bit complicated that we notice is that when you have 11 different medications and peptides, you might start to wonder, how do I know which one I recommend? Do I put them all in my package? Do I just put two? Which ones? So we give you a full assessment tool that was built out with us and our doctor that will walk him through an assessment, right? Not you performing medical services, but walks him through assessment that will clearly show you what you should recommend to them. Okay. And then you guys probably already have these resources, but if you need nutrition resources specifically for protein recipes, things for GLP-1 patients, we give you those things as well. Okay. And so then we also give you a launch toolkit. right? Scott obviously will help you guys out a ton with this aspect, but we do have toolkits for you guys on launching to your list, right? Emails, SMS, templated marketing materials around the medications and everything you need to be able to confidently launch your program. We host live calls every single week with subject matter experts, like we just brought Scott in for ours. And we want to make sure that you guys have the community and the resources you need and the connection you need, because you are not in this alone, right? And then, of course, community is a big aspect here. And we know we believe in it. You're here on this call because you believe in it. And so we want you to have that same mastermind community within doing this. This is not just software. This is not just the product. This is not just an easy way to get medication. This is a community that's driven behind a vision, right, of bridging the gap between medical and wellness. And we want you to be a part of that when you join as a partner. Okay. So as Andy and Scott already said, with our onboarding system, you can go live in less than 48 hours after signing up. So investment, we do a one-time setup fee, $19.97, and then only $297 per month. But because Scott is a pretty cool dude, we like him. We decided to do this community a favor. And what we're doing is for Scott's community is we're cutting that in half, taking $1,000 off our setup fee, which we hold your hand, onboard you, make sure that you have every step of the way. Scott and Andy actually just went through our onboarding process. How did it go?
It was ridiculously easy and smooth. Like I was kind of shocked by it. And then I even got Andy already made a sale, not even trying, just casually having a conversation with somebody in his gym. So fast, so easy. And then just the experience from start to finish, like on onboarding and everything is unbelievable. And I'm going through all the classroom stuff. It's massively high quality.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Scott. The onboarding was super smooth, very simple. I mean, there were a bunch of videos that you could watch, and I watched all those. I think it took me maybe an hour or two. And then there was even an onboarding call, which covered a lot of the same material. And that was, I think, maybe an hour long in total. But overall, it set me up. It was, by the end of it, again, I was able to set up my dashboard and process our first orders. And everything just seemed very easy, for lack of a better term, because I just keep saying the word easy, but that's really what it is.
That's what we want, man. Simple speed, right? So what we're going to do here, guys, to be able to get access to that offer, Scott, I believe you have your link that you're going to drop in the chat here for everyone. And so what happens next is we're not going to hop on a call. We're going to hard sell you guys. We understand that we are still, no matter how easy it is, we're talking medication and we're talking your business. Okay. So what we have is we have the best implementation specialists that are trained in everything from, how do we, what, if you have questions about compliance, if you have questions about the pharmacy, if you have anything like that about how this process works, that is the point of implementation call, right? We want you to be confident when you roll this out, because we know we're not talking supplements, right? We're talking injectable medications that can have life-changing transformation effects on people, but it is also sometimes a scary thing. So we will guide you through that. This is not just a sales pitch on this call, right? You already have all the information. This is where you can come in with your specific business questions for your specific area, for your specific clients, and we will help you through all of those. And then if it's a great fit, perfect, we'll go ahead and get you signed up. If you need more time, if you need more, resources, whatever it may be, we'll also help you with that as well.
Beautiful. Guys, I'll share what I have for you now, but I've looked into this stuff for quite a while. I've talked to a lot of providers. I've talked to a lot of companies, and just sometimes with the affiliate model or this or that, didn't feel comfortable with it, would never recommend it. These guys are the real deal. It is not a fly-by-night thing. It's coming from actual pharmacies. The gray market of research only and stuff, first of all, I don't want to put that in my body just in case. Second of all, I don't want the liability of sending a client there or setting them up with that either. And these guys are my experience with them has just been unbelievable. It is really floored me. And that's why I'm really excited to share this with you guys. And then as I'm developing all of the high ticket programs in conjunction with this takes what we do and makes it 10 times easier. It does. It makes it 10 times easier to sell, or people are going to get way better results. I have a lot of people who work their asses off, and we really hammer nutrition, and they're not perfect, but man, they're doing their work and they just can't get past it. And I've seen them then go to a doctor who does this and gets on it while we're handling the rest of it, and they've shed the 30 pounds that they have tried 2 years. This stuff is valuable, and we need to be the ones. Yes, we want to give them what they want, but we sell them what they need. on the lifestyle, on the workouts, on the nutrition. And we got to do this. We have to do this. And so I've waited a while. I needed to find the right trusted partner. And I mean, I'm a client, right? And my experience has been second to none. I'm very impressed. As a matter of fact, how smooth the onboarding and everything is, Andy, we can probably take some tips working with you guys on that. Like, it's just really good. And there's a lot of trust there. So it's awesome. And so here's what I want to share with you as well. Let me get my screen going. So the stuff that we're hooking you up with, obviously with the link, I just dropped it in the comments. So again, hop on a call with them, at least learn more. For most of you, you should be doing this more than likely. It's your decision. Do you have to? Absolutely not. But what I am most excited about is not just helping people more, not just making more money, but the fact of the matter is it is really hard to get people in the doors right now. They want to just look for the easy solution and do meds only. And they are doing that in droves. I cannot wait on the organic marketing side and the paid marketing side to get people coming in my doors with this. That is what I'm massively excited about. I'm already building out the campaigns on this already. And then, yes, exactly like you said, how many clients of yours right now want to do this with you? We've just been having casual conversations with my operators, and they have a waiting list. I talk to them tomorrow and teach them how we're going to roll this thing out. So it's pretty unbelievable. But I have a few things for you guys. I know we're coming close to the hour, and you guys have appointments after. So let me get to it really quick. So at the Gym Profit Summit, February 12th and 13th, Josh and his Asher Med team are going to be there, which is going to be phenomenal. And one thing, this is what we're covering. We're going to cover building a winnable model, high tickets. We're going to cover acquisition paid strategies, organic strategies. We're going to reveal some of the stuff that we're going to be doing for the GLP-1s. We're going to be talking world-class retention and what to do with the profits to pay less to the IRS and create and have your money make babies for you, right? So we're covering all of those things. It's going to be massively valuable. But between now and then, I am really knocking out all your high-ticket offers on different medications and weight loss programs and individual peptides. So I'm getting to work on that. I'm also building out all the marketing strategies to upsell your existing people, to draw new people in there. And we're going to be revealing all this at the event. I'm going to be basically taking our high ticket launch and customizing it even specific for all of these offers. And it's going to be very, very exciting. And this is going to be your last call to get a free ticket to this event. And it's just for you guys live on this call. I will drop this link to get it. Okay. Now here's what I'm asking you. Do not fill this form out unless you can 100% make it, because we will be at 100% capacity. I don't know how many tickets we have left, Andy, but it might only be 10 or 15 or 20 or something like that. And we're still a month out.
After our last push about an hour ago, I have to do some math. I think we've got like 20 left.
Okay. And so here's the thing. Do not take a ticket if you cannot get your butt there. Because the last thing I want is for this thing to sell out and like there'll be 20 seats open because you just put your thing in for a free ticket and didn't show up. Okay. So that is my only request. Make sure you can come. But I can promise you, between the business side and everything you're going to learn, and then what to do with the profits of your business to pay the least amount to the IRS and invest it, you're going to get 7 figures. This will add 7 figures to your net worth over the next 5, 10, 20 years. I can promise you. So just get your ass here. I know that it's a pain in the butt traveling sometimes, but there is so much value, not just what you're going to learn, but the people you're going to meet here and connect with. I want everybody to meet 2 or 3 people that you're in connection with over the next year and 2 and beyond that help pick you up when you're down or just to bounce ideas off of. Really important. I feed on these live events. They keep my energy up for the next 2 or 3 months. And I cannot wait to see you guys in person. So get your butts here, but make sure you can come before you take one of these tickets because they're almost gone. Okay. And then we're going to have to shut it off. So the Asher Med one right here. So I'll put the link again. Hop on a call with Asher Med, learn more, And that link, if you book with that link, you'll get $1,000 off your enrollment should you decide to move forward. And again, it's $1,000 to get going, or $997, right, Josh? Something like that.
Yeah, you take the 1,000 off, it'd be $997.
Yeah, and it's $297 a month to be able to offer this. And then all you have, like the wholesale costs on the meds, it's such a stupid no-brainer. So if there's one thing that you need to look into in 2026, whether you pull the trigger or not, it is this. I mean, this is it for me. This is my big objective. Like I said, my goal is to double my profits in my gyms in 2026 with this, period. I am so freaking excited about it. And as always, last thing too, is if you need to book a call with me or Andy for whatever you need to talk about, whether it's you have an acquisition problem, it's on your high ticket offers, you need more information on Asher Med, you need more information on whatever it is, you need help hiring, this is your call. You can spend it how you want. So there's the link on that one. And shoot, I think that's about all I have. But guys, I just really encourage you, this is not just the future, this is the present. This is going on with or without you. Like Josh said, they're going to get it from somebody else. And that somebody else is probably just going to do the turn and burn model. They're just going to prescribe meds. They're not going to make sure they're working out. They're not going to make sure they're maintaining lean muscle mass. They're not going to make sure they're eating enough. They're not going to help them change their habits. And they're going to have all the side effects. Like, this is a very important role that each and every one of us needs to fill in the industry. Who else is going to do it? I mean, we've seen what the medical industry does by itself, right? We've seen that. They've proven that it's just a turn and burn thing, and it's top down, and we got to step in and do this and teach people how to do it correctly. And you guys are the ones to do it.
Absolutely. If you have a moment, Scott, I do have a few more minutes here. So if you guys do have some questions, because I know there are some questions here. One of them that was dropped in the chat, I didn't answer it, was about liability, right? So we get this one a lot, right? Do I need malpractice insurance now with my business because we are selling these services? So the answer is no, right? And the reason it's no is because if you go and try and get malpractice insurance, they're going to be very confused and laugh you out because they're like, you're not practicing medicine. So it is really, really important that you understand you are not practicing medicine, right? That intake link goes straight to a doctor and a care team. They are the ones that are handling all medical questions, medical support. If a client comes to you and says, hey, I want to increase my dose, right? You don't answer that question. You just bridge them. You connect them to that patient care text line, and then we will help them out. Dr. B will help them out. So you are not practicing medicine, so you do not get liability insurance for medicine. Now, any business owner, especially if you're in the service base, we recommend that you just always have your general insurance, right? You guys should all have that. If you don't have that, I recommend getting it. It's like $20 a month. That's just best practice, especially if you own a gym or you are coaching people on fitness and health. Okay. The other thing I will say, because I always like to say, because people will say, what's my chances of getting in trouble? Just don't be dumb. That's really it. Like, just please do not put on the white lab coat. Do not pretend like you're the doctor. Do not tell people what to do with their medications. Just like if you have a client on, thyroid medicine right now or testosterone, and you should not be, telling them exactly what to do with their dosage, how to take it, those type of things there. Leave that to the doctor, guys. Okay. The doctor will never step on your toes. The doctor will never tell them to quit your membership or to stop signing up with you. They will handle the medical side. So if there are any other questions, I do have a few minutes if you guys want to drop a couple.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Rob, do you need to add a line to your waiver? You do not. Some people do, and they give examples. Like this is what's cool about our community. Our partners will kind of show you what they do for theirs. But there's no reason to, because they're going to go through an intake link process, and then we have all of the waivers on that. And then you guys are tied to it. So you guys ever been to a doctor, and then you have that little section in the form that you fill out that says, who do you want to give permission to see your results or see your information? All of your clients will have that signed for your business specifically. So that way you guys can see PHI, so patient information. And so you will be okay with doing things like that. Including what language you can and not use. We give you guys all of those trainings on that. How quickly do patients get responded to in case they have questions? We're pretty dang fast. So we have a fully staffed Caroline, Sundays are a little bit of slower, but our people just love to work, so they will work there. But during business hours, probably less than 30 minutes, I would say. If it is an emergency, that is highlighted, and then that is flagged to Dr. Burchard. Yep, so your clients have a direct line.
Yeah, that's one cool thing, guys, is your clients have a direct line to text into the patient care team, right? And they can just text in with questions, which is unbelievable because they don't get that with their current doctor. I guarantee you. And that's pretty neat.
Bob, how do you market this? So actually not that much different, right? So you can market medically backed transformation program. What we recommend, just because of, you have pharma companies that we got to, watch out for. We don't recommend that you use name brand, right? Because we're talking compounded medication. So you don't want to market like, hey, Wegovy, right? Program, right? So you're not marketing those. We give you compliance side on the marketing, what to say, what don't say. If you need legit script just means that you're selling medication directly from your website, which most of you will probably not do that. So then you wouldn't need legit script certification with Facebook and Google, but we have full trainings around how to do that. Partner-facing compliant resources, FDA communication guidelines are provided as well. That is correct. Rob, on the letter of medical necessity, Dr. B is willing to do this. Now you have to make sure, does your payment processor accept those cards? Because remember, you guys have full control. You take payments. We don't take payments for you. So make sure your payment processor can process a HSA card. Most fitness facilities can. And then if so, then you would just message into our support team, let them know who the patient is, let them know that you need a medical letter of medical necessity. And then we have templates for that as well that Dr. B will sign. How do we vet which peptides to use? So really good question. We go slow. So sometimes it annoys people. People are mad at us because we don't offer what is Shurutide, but I'm telling you right now, it's not worth it, right? It's good. I believe when it gets rolled out and when it's past clinical trials, we will offer it, but it's just not worth it for you right now to offer something like that while it's in clinical trials, because they are cracking down hard, trying to sue everyone who's offering that medication. Unfortunately, just big pharma sucks. And we all know this already. Okay. The medication has to get passed through. Like Dr. B makes the final decisions on what medications we can bring in from our pharmacies, which is why you guys would notice we have some of the popular peptides, like they call it category 2 peptides like BPC 157. But there are some other ones where she's like, hey, there's not enough research on this yet to where she feels comfortable prescribing it. Okay. So we will always be honest with you. We will tell you why. Good example, the pills. Right. One reason we do not offer the pills, even though we would make so much more money off offering pills, is that the proof is just not there. And so just selling your people something just to sell it is not worth it. We need to see more data that shows that the pills have a higher absorption rate from these compounding pharmacies before we're willing to roll something out like that out. Okay. So great question.
Josh, one question that came up was, please tell me this is available in Canada.
Okay. We got global in our mind. So we just hired a badass and awesome director of clinical operations. She actually went and established a telehealth service with 100,000 patients in Canada. So she is passionate about going global. She wants to go global. She wants to hit Mexico. She wants to hit Canada. But at the time, we are all 50 states, US. Okay. But that is on our horizon. We've been at this, we built this product last July. We started marketing and rolling it out officially after beta testing it in April. And so we are to the moon, guys. We are fully invested in continuing to scale this. What you see Asher is right now is not what it will be next week. Okay. So going global is one of our goals.
Yeah, you've got other things coming down the pipeline, right? With blood testing and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so I'll tease some stuff. So patient care apps coming down the pipeline pretty soon. Labs are now ready to go. We're about to enter a beta test for them, but your clients can go and get labs wherever. Then from there, next thing off the pipeline will be assessment of those labs. How do you, not how do you guys interpret labs, but how do you give recommendations, supplements, what medications, those type of things as well. So we are developing, we are pushing fast, but we do believe slow is going to allow us to go fast. We don't just want to roll everything to roll out everything.
Yeah. These guys are moving quick. And I just, like I said, I've just been very impressed with everybody inside of their company. It's been second to none. The service has been second to none. And for those of you asking a lot of questions on, hey, what do these do? Are there contraindications? The back end of their classroom, and I'm going through it right now, is going to keep you fully compliant. It's going to educate the hell out of you. It's going to teach you on the marketing aspects and what you can say and not say. And very robust, because I don't know. I'm not a pro on this. I don't know the ins and outs. I need to be educated on this. So I'm going through it right now, and it's top-notch stuff, not just for you, but for your staff to see as well.
Yep. Awesome, guys. So what I would recommend, if you have not already, I don't know if you want to drop that link just one more time here, Scott, so they have it. Even if you're not ready to sign up, you want to get questions, you want to get the PDF, you want to understand a little bit more how the process works, book an implementation call. We have some people, like you saw in that video, I said they booked a call, they didn't sign up for 30 days later, wish they signed up earlier, but they didn't, and they were excited about it. So sometimes you want to do your research. We understand we're talking medical services here. You want to get more information on the doctor, how things work. So that's the point of an implementation call, is to help you with that. Okay. So really appreciate your guys' time today. Super excited. You guys have an amazing community. Scott, love what you built here. And we are here for you guys if you guys have any other questions.
Thank you very much, Josh. Appreciate you coming on.
Awesome. Take care, guys.
All right, guys. I appreciate your guys' time and attention. And like I said, this is something that I've just not been excited about something like this in a very long time. This is a golden opportunity. And again, I will say the statistic again, nearly 1 in 5 adults in the United States are on these things. That is unfathomable. Like, it is massive, 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 massive. And it better be coming from you, because you can help them do it the right way and not just take the shots and do nothing. So it's up to you. But I would highly encourage you to hop on a call, whether you're ready for it now or later, or just to still assess if it's something that you even want to do. Because it might not be for everybody, and that's totally okay. But get the information, then make your judgment. Should you want to move forward with this, like I said, I'm building out everything to really support this and have you crush this at a high ticket level. So appreciate you guys coming on. I want to see your butts in February in Scottsdale. Appreciate it. And if you need anything from Andy or I, book a call, email us, DM us. You know how to find us. And appreciate you guys. So we'll see you next time.